Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 9 at Belmont Park on Friday is the True North, and it features a star of the game. Jackie's Warrior, arguably the top sprinter in the country, is going to headline this race. Let's take a look at the field for the True North. We're going 6.5 furlongs, and our coverage is presented by our very good friends at Spendthrift. Jackie's Warrior is going to be a short price. I know we got beat in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He fired last time at Churchill.
Yeah, he made a little bit of a mistake there at the Breeders' Cup last year. Came out of it with a little bit of an issue. He's come back. Maybe better than ever so far as a 4-year-old this year, Dan. 2 wins in a row. He's a multiple Grade 1 winner starting back in a Grade 2.
Now what's exciting about him is not only his talent, but his speed.
Yeah.
He's got rocket ship speed. Timeform US believes he's going to make the front. I can't argue. I know Mr. Phil's fast. Mr. Phil might be optional claiming fast. I'm not sure he's Jackie's Warrior fast.
Yeah, he's not fast enough to go with Jackie's Warrior in this race. That horse will be on the early lead, and it's all a question of whether you think anybody can catch him.
Now, Mr. Phil may not have the speed of Jackie's Warrior, but the number 1 ridden by Kendrick Carmouche is in razor sharp form. We've seen this from Rob Actress in the past. Claims horses, turns them into really top sprinters. This horse has won 3 in a row, including a 3rd level allowance. The race we're going to show you right now, going 7/8 of a mile. And in this race, Mr. Phil went to the front, dissuaded the pace pressure, and kept on going.
Yeah, the pace just wasn't really that fast in that race, Dan. Mr. Phil broke from the inside. He had no trouble making the early lead. The horse that ran second to him, Fortin Hill, who was an odds-on favorite, just sort of let him have it, tried to track him and gun him down. Couldn't do it. I'm not going to knock the form that Mr. Phil's in right now, but this is a really tough
The key to the race is, do you believe the Fig? I believe the 101, because he's really stepped forward for Actress. If he runs that 101, maybe he makes Jackie's Warrior run a little bit. And if you look deep in his formulator past performances, he's won from just off the pace in the past.
He has. He's been a good horse for a really long time. He's obviously improved since Actress claimed him. I think he's got to improve again.
The number 2 War Toxin, trained by Uriah St. Louis, who can pop at prices. And War Toxin seems to run well without Lasix. No Lasix for him on Friday. 3rd in the Maryland Sprint last time out. We're taking a look at that race. Tried to use his speed from the rail and just got outgunned.
Yeah, he wasn't fast enough to make the lead that day. He's not fast enough to make the lead in this spot. He has that big race 3 starts back where he was only second best. That was a spot where he was able to make the front. He can't make the front here, Dan.
And I know he's done well from off the pace in the past, but it looks like they found what he wants to do, and that's get forward. And I'm not sure being on a hard chase behind Jackie's Warrior is the place to be. And speaking of Jackie's Warrior, here he is, 10 for 14 lifetime, 2.3 million in the bank. And last time out, took no prisoners at Churchill Downs. He went to the lead, and he just dominated a very good field.
It was a really good field. They put him right on the lead in there. He's another horse in a race down there, that Grade 1 last time. He didn't take a ton of pressure early. He had a lot of horse left when he got into the stretch, and he made that field pay with another sparkling performance for this horse. He was better than it looks off the layoff at Oaklawn, took a step forward last time. He's tons the horse to beat.
Handles a wet track. There's a little bit of rain in the forecast, and when they turn into the stretch at Big Sandy, likely Jackie's Warrior is going to be in front. Baby Yoda, though, has run faster, only once. It was a 114 Beyer speed figure at Saratoga, going 6.5. He took down a big scalp that day in Olympiad. Now, either the figure a little inflated, or he just hasn't run back to it. But I like what Bill Mott's done in his last 2 races. Dropped him in class and got his confidence up.
I agree with that. It's safe to say this horse will never come close to a 114 again in his career, but he wasn't bad before that, Dan, and he hasn't been that bad since then. Maybe he lost his way a little bit towards the end of last year, but are you really going to hold the Malibu against him where he just couldn't get near flight line? He wound up second best. I like what Mott did with him in his last 2 starts with the drop in class. I feel like they found the right spots for him, and he ran really well both times.
The pilot on that plane really agrees with everything you said. I hope everyone heard it. The 5 is Nighttime, who won last time out for Dale Romans. You know, I've always been a fan of this horse. He really wasn't able to just get over the hump last year. He came close in a lot of races. He made Aloha West work at Saratoga. And you could arguably say he ran some of the best races when he was beaten. Last time out at Churchill, he put it all together, but it was an off-turf race going 5.5.
It's hard to have a lot of confidence in him off of that win. I think what you want to do is go back and look at the 3 races that he ran last year as a 4-year-old, and he didn't win any of them. He ran really well in all of them, in a couple of fast races at Saratoga, too. He's held his own against some really, really good horses, and he's flying under the radar here.
Not to be ignored completely is the 6 Sound Money for Chad Brown, who just ran second in the race we're going to show you behind Cody's Wish. This is the Grade 3 Westchester, going a 1-turn mile over a sloppy track. He showed big speed in this race. Now, cutting back in distance, he's not going to show that speed, but he has won route to sprint in the past. He has won from off of the pace. Chad's taken the blinkers off, Mike, and his figures, obviously, he needs to improve. move to take on the like of Jackie's Warrior, but he's very lightly raced.
He is very lightly raced. I don't think the cutback is a big deal for this horse. It probably actually helps him. He does have some talent. I actually like each of his last 4 or 5 races, Dan. I think this horse is okay, but this is a really, really tough sprint race for him. And as well as he ran in the Westchester last time, he was only second best.
He's going to have to do better than that, but maybe this pace heats up a little bit and he comes with a bit of a late kick. Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. Lots of great Belmont Stakes content coming up on DRFTV. Got to go with Jackie's Warrior, right?
I'm not trying to beat this horse. Take it away.
I'm going to try to maybe take a little swing against. I mean, Jackie's Warrior's way the horse. I don't want to have a lot of money in against him. I do think that the form that Mr. Phil's bringing in is pretty good right now, but boy, he's going to have him nailed on tight to beat Jackie's Warrior. Interesting to see what he does, though, from the rail post. Does he try to make Jackie's Warrior work in the early portion? That could work against Mr. Phil. He might be in a tough spot. I might want to change my pick. Jackie's Warrior, the horse to beat in the True North. Best of luck.